Hello and welcome to the Inns of Court Armoured Car Regiment channel. Today we'll be covering the events of April the 19th to April the 28th, 1945. April the 19th. The Inns of Court was still required to protect both flanks of the 11th Armoured Division until the 7th Armoured Division on the left and the 15th Scottish Infantry Division on the right had drawn level with the 11th Armoured Division's advance. As both of these divisions were caught up, the patrols from the Inns of Court were relieved and were able to press on forth. D and B Squadron were responsible for the left flank, while A and C Squadrons were responsible for the right flank. A Squadron sent patrols to Horndorf, Arljan and Edelslestrov. At Edelslestrov, contact was made with the 15th Scottish Infantry Division and the 6th Guards Armoured Brigade. A Squadron's patrol at Horndorf later moved out to Bavendorf in the afternoon and established contact with the 15th Scottish Infantry Division. C Squadron were further south at Hoornstorf and Almstorf, where contact was made with the 5th British Infantry Division. D Squadron reconnoitred the bridges over the River Loire at Bauberg, Gaststedt, Zalshausen and Putenzen. A group of 15 German POWs informed Lieutenant C. S. Taylor's troop that Zalshausen was still held by 200 German troops, including some from the SS. His patrol made their way to Zalshausen, where they made contact with enemy small arms and Panzerfaust fire on the outskirts. Lieutenant Taylor personally led 3 other dismounted troops via a covered approach and dispatched the enemy position with a hand grenade. Then, by a pre-arranged signal, his armed car troop approached with all guns blazing and entered the town, capturing 115 German soldiers, of which 25 were from the SS. Lieutenant C. S. Taylor was awarded the Military Cross for his actions. The bridges at Bauberg, Garstedt and Zalshausen were found to be intact, while that at Putenzen had been destroyed. B Squadron sent out patrols to Amelinghausen, Wetzen and Oldendorf. Oldendorf was still held by the enemy, so a recently liberated Polish forced labourer approached with an ultimatum for the Germans: surrender or be shelled into oblivion. A similar approach was taken with the enemy resistance near Amelinghausen, with the additional threat of flamethrowers. In both cases, the Germans chose to surrender. D Squadron reported the area west of its bridges to be clear of resistance, with a large number of German troops in the area being intent on surrendering. Later on, D Squadron made contact with the 11th Hussars at Putenzen and Garstedt. In the evening, B Squadron were ordered to recce the area south of Zalhausen. The patrol reached Rolfsen and Eiendorf and found them both to be clear of resistance, taking a number of prisoners in doing so. All patrols were recalled for the night, with A Squadron harbouring at Barendorf, B Squadron at Marxen, C Squadron at Zeedorf and D Squadron at Weerhofen. April the 20th. The Inns of Court were to continue to watch the flanks of the 11th Armoured Division while awaiting the 7th Armoured Division and 5th British Infantry Division to draw level. Furthermore, they were to patrol the area south of the Vincennes-Lüneburg road as far as Bispingen. C Squadron went in reserve at Betzendorf. A Squadron took the right flank of the 11th Armoured Division, while D Squadron took the left flank. A Squadron took up its previous positions at Arljan, Edelslestrov and Bavendorf, whereas D Squadron were posted to Zalshausen and Garlstorf. B Squadron were tasked with patrolling the area south of the Vincennes-Lüneburg road, reaching Rolfsen before meeting the 11th Hussars at Auguststorf and Bispingen. At Schwinderbeck, a patrol from B Squadron came across and captured a naval mine factory and its staff. B Squadron then took up positions south of Bispingen, following reports of a large number of enemy infantry hiding in the forest around Munster. All patrols were recalled for the night. April the 21st. A and B Squadrons started the day by repeating their previous day's tasks. A Squadron took up its previous position at Aljan, Edelslestrov and Bavendorf. B Squadron patrolled in the area of Bispingen and Rolfsen. C and D Squadrons rested in reserve. By 11:30 hours, A Squadron was also recalled to Zalshausen to rest. At 1800 hours, C Squadron were called upon to patrol Lüneburg and the surrounding area in order to prevent rioting and looting, and to enforce a 48-hour curfew that was to commence from 2200 hours. April the 22nd to April the 28th. The regiment's orders were now to patrol those parts of the division's area which were not permanently occupied by Allied troops, in order to remind the local populace of the continual presence of Allied troops in their country. This was done by dividing the area into 4 squadron areas as follows. A Squadron were assigned to the area around Garlstorf, Nindorf, Hanstedt and Auguststorf. B Squadron were assigned to Rovsen, Steinbeck, Bispingen and Evendorf. C Squadron continued its patrols of Lüneburg and the surrounding area. D Squadron were assigned to the area around Toppenstedt, Gastedt, Pattensen, Weerhofen and Zaushausen. Patrols were very active, especially at first and last light. Many prisoners were taken during this period, including a large number of enemy soldiers in civilian clothes, which were picked up and sent to POW holding camps. The highlights of this rather monotonous period were as follows. B Squadron formed a cavalry patrol and showcased their skills with a morning raid on Evendorf, but had nothing but stiffened joints to show their less enlightened colleagues. The regiment headquarters captured SS Sturmbannführer Alfred Otto, a Nancy Oil Company director. He was subsequently shot by D Squadron when he attempted to escape from them at night. In addition, there was the capture of the former German ambassador to Hungary, Otto von Erdemannsdorf, by A Squadron. One thing was fairly certain. The Germans in the area were only too painfully aware of their country being occupied by the Allied forces, although there was no rioting or looting to report of. No losses were incurred over these days. Kind regards and cheerio.